In case you are curious what I do when I'm not knitting, it's this. I just had lunch and I'm gonna take a little quick break because I don't want to study right now. I also wanted to update you, so I started the armhole shaping for the back piece yesterday. I'm gonna keep going on this, get a few rows in, and then I'll keep studying. I'm gonna study some more, and then I have to go to class, and then I have to go to the store and work out and maybe study some more, but then I will come back and knit more. I would like to finish this back piece today. I'm not sure if I can do it, but that would be cool. Guys, I really just want to wear this to class. It's such a cute, simple outfit, and it's so cozy. But I have class at the hospital, and I don't like wearing my handknits to the hospital because that's annoying, because I have to wash them more. Truly just dreaming of a career where I can wear my handknits to work. Like, just an office job where I could wear something like this. A dream. Absolute dream. But alas, it's not the life I'm living right now. So she's gonna stay here. She's gonna wait for me. And I guess I'm gonna wear this instead. This is not handmade, this is commercially bought, and it's much easier to wash, so I guess this is the fit. Can you tell how unhappy I am about this? This is way less cozy. It's not wool, it's cotton, and it's just not the same. But alas, I have no choice, and I'm also running late, so let's go. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna miss my bus. Oops. I did in fact miss my bus. Oh well. So this is kind of turning into a day in my life vlog, I guess, but I'm rolling with it. So I finished class and then I went to the store, and for the past few weeks I've been craving cardigan coffee. I think it started, honestly, I want to say in March, when, you know, we hit the anniversary of when everything went bad, quarantine-wise. And around that time, I started craving cardigan coffee again. So today I finally caved and I bought some instant coffee. This is really cheap, decaffeinated instant coffee. I'm a little bit scared. I've never tried this brand, but the better brand has gotten so expensive. Like, one container was $10 for me to make like cardigan 3 times or something. So I got the cheap one. That might have been a mistake. It doesn't smell that bad. Okay, it doesn't smell that bad. I'm gonna make water and then let's try this. Then I have my mini whisk, and I love her. She's great. And now I just whisk. All right, I just cleaned the floor and my whisk. Now I can keep going. I'm back at my desk. I'm gonna taste test the cardigan. I'm a little bit skeptical, honestly. I don't know. It's been a really long time since I've had this. Okay, it's good. It's very sweet. But the coffee's fine. I'm happy with that. I was worried because it was so cheap. No, this is good. I approve still. I'm finished with the first shoulder, or rather, I've knit all of the first shoulder, but then you bind off with 3 needle bind off. My front panel back on the needle. I have something that I can kind of wear. Good morning. I should 100% be studying right now, but I did just have the grandiose idea to swatch the button band for the cardigan. So usually I just take my swatch that I knit up and then just do the button band on that, because I want to see if the rate of picking up stitches fits with my gauge, and then which needle size I need and all of that stuff. So yeah, I did just do that. This is how far I got. But yeah, I think it's still too early to tell if it fits. I think I'm gonna have to do everything to see if, you know, it always like curves here, but that also might just be because of the needles. So I think I'm just gonna do the entire thing. It's not that large of a swatch, and then see how it works out. And I might even re-block it with the button band. Not sure yet if I'll go through all that trouble or if I'll just hope. But yeah, now I should probably go back to studying. And I think what I'm gonna do is, I don't know if you know the concept of Pomodoro. So Pomodoro is basically you have a set amount of time where you study and then you take a break for a set amount of time. And then some genius people made this thing called the knitodoro, which is you study for 40 minutes and then you watch one episode of anime, which is usually 20 minutes, I believe. And when I saw that, I had the idea, why don't I do knit pomodoro or knitodoro? I haven't found a nice word for it yet, but basically sometimes if I can't motivate myself to study at all, what I'll do is I'll set a timer for 40 minutes to 45 minutes of studying, and then I get a break where I get to knit for 15 to 20 minutes. So because apparently I cannot stop knitting right now, and I'm way too invested in this project at this point and way too not invested in my studies, I think that's what I'm gonna try doing. I do have quite a lot to do, so I think I'm gonna start with 45 minutes of studying, and then I'll get to knit a little bit on this. I just finished doing the double knitted band and it's warping. I already guessed it from the beginning, but I thought, you know, this is just a short piece, I'll just finish it. And this is definitely warping. So I guess now I have to decide whether I want to pick up fewer stitches or whether I want to use smaller needles. I am honestly not sure. I feel like 2.5mm needles are already very small, so I don't particularly want to make smaller needles, but at the same time, the rate that I picked up at right now is what the pattern suggests, which looks very neat. And then also, I think it's not terrible, it might block out, but I feel like my stitches are a little bit uneven. I don't think it's terrible, but I do think I want to try doing the 2mm one to see if that's neater, because to be fair, this is very thin yarn. And then for this pattern, I already had to size down for the normal pattern. I had to size down for the needles, so I don't think it's super surprising that I have to size down for this as well. Now the question is, do I use 2mm or do I try 2.5mm first? And I'm not sure. I also have neither of those in, you know, these needles. I only have DPNs in that size, because usually like I don't knit anything on 2mm needles, any garments at least. I mean, I guess I can do a button band on DPNs, right? I think so. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna rip this out and try again. So I have 2mm DPNs, and then I have 2.25mm mini circulars. I realize I don't even have DPNs for this size, so I feel like neither of those options is ideal. But I guess just to check the gauge, it's fine. And if neither of these works, I can still go back to the 2.5mm and just pick up fewer stitches, right? Here goes nothing. So the 2mm one pulled together almost immediately. So now I'm using the 2.25mm. And I think that's looking good. I'm gonna continue this and then show you again, but I'm hopeful for the 2.25mm. The only thing that this is really uncomfy to knit on or to knit with. And I just checked. My local yarn store does not have 2.25mm needles, I believe. They only have DPNs for 2.25mm, which is probably already nicer than this, but still not really nice to work with. So now I'm thinking I might order needles because I still have to knit the sleeves. And if I order them now, they should be here in a few days. So by the time that I start this, I would have them. I should really get back to studying. I've probably been working on this for half an hour at least, probably longer. Yeah, oopsies. It is actually after class and I just finished my button band. This is what it looks like. So this is the right side, but basically the wrong side of the button band because I picked up wrong. And then this is like the wrong side, but then the right side of the button band, if that makes sense. And I think it looks really good gauge-wise. Like, I think this is pretty much perfect. I don't think I'll get it any better. It's been a hot second since I last filmed. I've been a little bit stressed because I have exams, and I've been busy because I have exams, and I've also been a little bit mentally unwell because I have exams. So it's been a rough couple of days and I haven't really wanted to talk to a camera. That doesn't mean, however, that I didn't work on my project. I just didn't show you. So sorry for that, but I'm gonna show you now. I have it right here. So this is what my cardigan looks like. The last time you saw this, I believe I was working on one of the sleeves. I don't know if it was the first or the second one, but I was working on the sleeve and nothing was seamed up yet. So as you can tell, I finished both sleeves and I sewed everything together. Now, as per usual, I expected the sewing to take maybe like 30 minutes. It took me several hours because I've never done this and it's a very fine gauge, so I wanted it to look neat. I can show you. So I think it doesn't look perfect. I definitely missed a few rows here and there, but I'm pretty happy with it considering this was my first time doing this. And honestly, especially, I think the first sleeve that I did, like, this just looks so neat. And I've tried it on and I have to say, I feel like for closer fitting garments, this has a much better fit than the top down pieces that I've made so far. It might also just be the pattern that I got lucky and this pattern fits my body shape well. I don't have any issues with like excess fabric under my arms, which I have for quite a few patterns that I've made, especially cardigans. So I'm really happy about the seaming, and I also didn't really mind the seaming. I think it was quite fun having something else to do. I like to have projects that are a little bit more engaging with different techniques and everything, which is why I love doing lacy, cabley things. So yeah, I didn't really mind it. Now, all that's left to do is all of the finishing. So this piece has I-cord basically everywhere except for the button band that is double knit. So I finished the first I-cord yesterday for the sleeve, which, fun fact, is actually the first I-cord edge I've ever made. I already started on the second sleeve and this took only like 15 minutes, so it's pretty quick. And then I still have to do the bottom edge and the neck edge. And then I obviously still have to do the button band. However, remember how I bought needles for that or ordered needles for that? They're still not here. I'm not sure what's going on with German mail delivery right now, but both the needles and the Knitting for Olive package that I'm waiting for from the giveaway were supposed to be here yesterday. I don't have anything. They're not here. So I'm hoping they're gonna come in tomorrow. Oh my god, guys, okay. I just picked up the stitches for the I-cord on the body. And I didn't want to weave in as many ends, so I picked up with the tail end. And I swear to god, I thought I would run out. I already had to redo it from the very beginning because I didn't have enough yarn. Look at this. I have no idea how I'm gonna weave this in, but I made it. Oh, Jesus, that was yarn chicken. But hey, now I know that I need more yarn the next time, so that's great. I also have something else to show you. So someone in my family is having their birthday in a couple of days, and I'm making a Snoopy. Oh god, you didn't see that. Here, he has one eye so far. So my family is kind of obsessed with Snoopy. I don't know how it started, but here we are. So I'm making an amigurumi. Look at this guy. So this is the head. He's a little bit lopsided, but oh well, it's the best I could do. I have something very exciting to unbox today. So I got the Yoko top pattern as well as the yarn that I need for my size, which should be 3 balls of the Knitting for Olive cotton merino in a color of my choice for free, and it finally arrived. I'm so excited. Also, I kid you not, it was the best timing this morning because I swear to god, I was about to put my jacket on and go to class when the doorbell rang and I got this, so that was perfect timing. Oh my god, I'm so excited. This is what I got, and it's so pretty. I love the color. So this is the Knitting for Olive cotton merino in the colorway Strawberry Ice Cream. It's so pretty. I love it. Oh my god, this is exactly the color that I was expecting. Sometimes if you buy things online, I feel like it's a little bit difficult to gauge the color, but they also have videos on their Instagram, which I find really helpful because you can kind of gauge the lighting a little bit more closely and compare the colors, like see them next to each other, which I always find very helpful. So this is actually exactly the color that I expected this to be, so I'm very happy. Now about the yarn, this is 70% organic cotton and 30% extra fine merino. Oh, did I even tell you what it's called? It's called Strawberry Ice Cream, which is just such a cute name. I feel like all of the Knitting for Olive yarns have such cute names, and I'm a huge name buyer, which is really bad, I know, but for like makeup and yarn and nail polish and all of that kind of stuff, sometimes I'm very influenced by the name. Like if a colorway has a cute name, I'm so much more inclined to buy it, even if it's the exact same color. So yeah, Strawberry Ice Cream is just so cute. Look at this. It doesn't say on here actually, but I'm pretty sure this has 250 meters for 50 grams. So that's a light fingering weight yarn. I think the suggested needle size is 3mm. Yeah, I think this is going to be perfect for summer garments. I'm obviously going to knit the yoker top out of this, which is a very cute ribbed wrap top. So compared to the Knitting for Olive Merino, I would say it doesn't feel quite as plush. Like the Knitting for Olive Merino, I think is very, very soft and just has this plush feeling to it, which this does not, but I think it's really nice on the skin. So I feel like for a summer garment, this is really, really great. Honestly, I don't know if this color looks good on me. If it doesn't, please don't tell me because I love it. This actually used to be my favorite color when I was like 12-ish, but then I totally grew out of it and I'm finding back to pink. So yeah, if this doesn't look good on my skin, don't tell me. I don't even want to know because it's just such a beautiful yarn. I'm gonna use it regardless. So let's get swatching. Actually not gonna swatch it right now because I don't have time, but I'll be back with a swatch at some point. I promise. I just started swatching for the yoker top and I don't think I've ever been this off gauge ever. This is supposed to have a gauge of 30 stitches and I got 23. That's not gonna work. But this is already on 3mm needles. I mean, I'm gonna try going down to 2.5. Hopefully that's gonna work. This is not how I thought this would go. We were off to not so great start, but let's try again. In the past few days, I've been a little bit frustrated with my knitting because I feel like I'm having gauge issues and needle issues with all of them. So I had to stop working on my breeze cardigan. It's almost finished. The only thing that's missing is the button band, but I need new needles for that. And they just haven't come in. I've been waiting. They were supposed to be here like 3 days ago. They're still not here. I don't know what's going on. And then as you saw, my Knitting for Olive yarn actually came in yesterday. And I swatched with 3mm needles and then with 2.5. And I did block the swatch on 2.5mm. And last night I was trying so hard to make myself believe that it would be fine. But I measured it today and now it's dry. And I'm still pretty far off gauge, especially the row gauge, which usually I wouldn't be too bothered about, but for the construction of this piece, it's constructed sideways, so like I'm knitting in this direction, so if my row gauge is off, my entire neckline shaping will be completely off and the sizing will be off. So what I did last night was I cast on a new project that I could actually work on, and that is this. It's not looking like much right now. It's basically just a rectangle so far. But what this is gonna be is a second clematis sweater. Guys, remember 2 seconds ago when I said I cast on this clematis sweater to just have a mindless knit kind of, that I knew that would be easy? I was lying. I just measured my gauge on this one as well, just to like make sure it fits. And I'm actually above gauge. Again, I don't know what's happening. I keep hitting, like getting above gauge on everything. I even made 2 swatches on 4.5 and on 4mm needles to see which ones I needed. And I was closer on 4.5, but now that I've knit up something larger, I'm above gauge. And this is super wash yarn, so it's gonna grow even more probably. So I'm just kind of losing my mind a little bit. I don't know, for the past 2 days, knitting has been stressing me out, which is annoying because I'm stressed out because of exams and stuff. So especially right now where I'm stressed out because of exams, I want knitting to be relaxing. But right now it's not because I don't have any just relaxing simple patterns going on or projects going on. I don't know. I'm not having a grand time right now. I think I'm gonna leave this because I can't think about it right now. Bye. I have a couple of updates for you. First of all, look at what came in the mail. These are the knit prosing in 2.25 millimeters. So I can finally start my button band. Yay! As excited as I am about finally being able to do the button band, I'm going home tomorrow morning and I don't really want to take the entire cardigan just to knit the button band. So I want to take another project instead. Now, I really want to work on the Yoko top. But if you remember from 2 clips ago or 3 clips ago, I've been having a little bit of gauge trouble with that. So this morning I kind of sat down and tried to knit the smallest size with 2.5 millimeter, even though my gauge was off, and I was just like, whatever, I'll try. And then a few rows in, I realized how stupid I was being. So I actually took some time and tried to think about what I should do instead of just doing something. So this morning I was like trying to figure out what to do, and I realized one thing, and that is that I really like the fabric that I get on 2.5 millimeters. And my stitch gauge is pretty much spot on. So I realized I want to knit this on 2.5 millimeter, and I'm gonna have to figure out a way to make the row gauge work. So what I plan on doing, and this might go horribly wrong, we'll have to see, is I think I'm going to size up for everything that specifies row count, but then I'll stick to my size for everything that says inches or like centimeters, so measurements, if that makes sense. Because I checked it and I'm roughly the amount of off gauge that the bigger size would get me. Does that make sense? So if I knit the bigger size off gauge, I would get the size that I want. So I think this should give me the garment size of an extra small, roughly, with my off row gauge. Again, this might go terribly wrong. It might also affect the fit because of the pattern is made. If you look at the picture, I might include it again here. It might affect the shaping a little bit, but I don't really have any other ideas. So I think I'm just gonna try, and if it doesn't work out, I'll just have to frog. It's whatever. At this point, I have no other ideas, so that's what I'm gonna go with. Those are my updates. Again, I'm going home tomorrow, so I have to kind of clean up a little bit, pack. I actually have to study a little bit, maybe, because I still have exams next week. Just med student life, am I right? I'm also really hungry, so I should have a snack. So this is my 3rd attempt at starting this piece. The first attempt was this morning when I said, screw it, I'm just gonna try on 2.5 millimeters. Pulled that apart again. Then I started a couple of hours ago, but I realized that the starting thing was huge. And so I looked at the picture again, and I realized, I've noticed this for other patterns as well, but I noticed that the sample picture they have is actually not made exactly to pattern. So for the ribbing, because it's all in rib stitch, you can kind of count the stitches that are in the sample pretty well. It does not match up with the pattern at all. I also compared the picture to some of the other projects on Ravelry, and all the projects on Ravelry are significantly longer. So while the sample that they have is kind of a cropped length, which I like, a lot of the examples or like other projects in Ravelry are very long. So I measured my gauge, I checked how many stitches it would be. I realized it would be way too long, which seems to be becoming a common theme. So I took out a bunch of stitches and tried again. At this, truly, I have quite little faith right now that this is gonna turn into something I'll actually like, because it's such a mess, quite honestly. But we'll see. I guess it has potential, but oh well. I really need to pack and do other things now. And I think if anything, I will work on my button band that I finally picked up. I didn't show you it yet, right? I finally picked up my button band. Yay. So if anything, I'm gonna work on my button band instead of on the top, because it's costing me my last brain cell. And I need that for exams next week. So I think I should just pause on that for a little bit, work on something that I know what's happening, aka this button band, and I don't know, keep going on this tomorrow, probably. Quick update. I'm still at home, but I'm leaving tomorrow. I just wanted to show you really quickly what my shirt's looking like. I finished almost half of this, so I think it's this way around. This is the shirt so far, and then it's gonna go over the shoulder, and I only have to finish the side and back part. Right now, it's obviously still very scrunched together. It'll block out a lot, I think. And this is still the first ball of the knitting for olive, so I feel like I should get away with maybe 2 or 2.5 balls of this, which is really good. This is a really great stash busting piece if you don't have a whole lot of the yarn left, I think. Really excited. This has been really fun because there are like increased parts. It's just a very addictive pattern because it's like, oh, I'll just do the next 4-row increase, and then it's like, oh, I'll just do the next increase and the next, and then suddenly you've knit like the entire piece. So this has been really fun. Also, this is true, don't bring clothes. We have clothes at home fashion. Right now I'm sporting the Maths Olympiad 2015 t-shirt because I was that kind of girl. Truly, I did peak back then, you know. It's been downhill ever since, I feel like sometimes, you know. But yes, I was a Maths Olympiad girly. I did fail. I absolutely failed, but I was a maths girly. Yay! I didn't really bring more yarn, which is fine. I'm going home tomorrow, but I think I'm probably gonna knit through this on my way back, which I probably shouldn't do. I should probably study, you know, be that academic weapon, but truly right now I'm just an academic victim. There's no way around that. But, you know, I've accepted it. It is what it is, right? So, yes, I'm either gonna be studying or knitting. Hi there. So it's been a hot second. As you might be able to tell, I am back in my own apartment now, and it's the day before exams. So I have less than 24 hours to prep now. Actually, in about 24 hours, I will be done with my exams, like it's gonna be over. So that's good, but it's also bad, like really bad. I haven't really studied a lot in the past few days because I was at home and like busy. So I guess we're gonna cram. I swear to God, for the past hour, I've been trying to hype myself up to start studying, but I'm so incredibly distractible right now. So this morning started off by me hyperfixating on a song for half an hour. So that stopped me from studying. And then I've also been hyperfixating on yarn, more specifically hand-dyed yarn, and I've been agonizing over the decision of if I should buy it, how much I should buy it, when I should buy it. I kid you not, I've probably looked at that website and like thought about this yarn 5 hours or something in total. I've annoyed my entire family with it. I've shown them all pictures. I was like, oh, this is pretty, but this is also pretty, but this is also pretty. What should I do? And yeah, I've annoyed everyone that I can annoy, and now it's so distracting to me. It's terrible. I'm so easily distractible. Like, I hyperfixated on a song for 30 minutes this morning, and that stopped me from studying. So I've made a decision on the yarn just now, just to get it out of my head. I haven't bought it yet because I want to order off of Ching Fiber for the first time. They have such pretty yarn. I know I shouldn't be spending money on hand-dyed yarn because it's way too expensive, but it's so pretty. So Ching Fiber is based in the UK, so all their prices are in pounds, but apparently the euro and the pound are kind of like on like the verge right now, so the price keeps switching back and forth by €1 on their website. So basically, I'm trying to wait for the price to go down again. It's just €1 per skein, but like still, I can wait, I hope. So yeah, I have everything in my cart and I'm just waiting for the price to go down again, which feels really weird. Like watching the exchange rate for money because I want to buy yarn. Like, that's insane. Anyway, I've made the decision. My head is empty. I turned off my music because usually music helps me study, but this time I just keep singing along and vibing and I cannot focus for the life of me. So I've curated the best study environment that I can come up with for now, which is not good, but it's the best I can do. So I have a little notepad ready to write down random stuff that I encounter that I probably should know but don't yet. And I'm just gonna revise. What could go wrong? In case you haven't, gathered, I'm studying for neurology, which I hate. Oops. Let's do this. Let's go. It's the morning of the exam and I'm about to head out. This is what I'm wearing. I'm wearing huge oversized jeans that are way too big for me. My Eric Nam tour t-shirt from his House on a Hill tour. And then just this huge cozy jacket and my Yonsei bag. I do not feel prepared, but it's too late to change anything about that now. So let's just do this, right? Let's just go. Let's fucking go, I guess. Here goes nothing. Hi there. It is currently 1:30 p.m. and I'm experiencing post-exam exhaustion. Is it just me or do you just get super tired after an exam? Like, I slept enough and my exam was only 2 hours long and yet here I am, super tired. Anyway, my plan for the foreseeable future is just sitting here and knitting. So I finally picked up the other side of the button band. I don't think I showed you, but last night, while I should have been studying probably, I finally finished the first button band. This is what it looks like. I'm not super happy with the finish here, but I redid it 3 times. The first time I tried it, it was way too long. So the second time I did it, instead of knitting 2 together, I knit 3 together for the last few rows to make it shorter. But then I must have missed a row or something and I had a hole in it. So I redid it a 3rd time and I think I might have knit together 2 rows too many. Like, now it's a tiny bit too short, but I think I'll be able to block it. I'm a little bit bothered by it, but honestly not bothered enough to do it a 4th time. So yeah, it is what it is. And then, as I just showed you, I picked up and marked all my buttons, and I already did the first buttonhole. I think it's really neat. It's one of the ones where you don't have to cut the yarn, so I love that. And yeah, I'm just gonna knit on this. I would love to finally be able to finish this today, but I know that I always underestimate the amount of time a double knit button band takes so much. Like, I thought I would be able to do the first one in a day, and I think it took me like 3 days at least. So yeah, I would love to be able to finish this today and block it. It might happen because I don't have any other plans for the day, but I also don't want to force myself to do it, so I'm just gonna see. But yeah, this is literally the last thing. The only thing left to do then is blocking and adding the buttons. I even wove in all the ends except for the one for the button band already, so I'm on top of my game here. Ta-da! I finally finished my Breeze cardigan, and I'm so happy with it. So it's been a while. I honestly don't know when I last properly updated, but I've finished all the details. So I think the last point I really showed you was doing the button bands, and this morning I also added the buttons. I think blocking really helped, which was expected. This is lace and cables. So yeah, as expected, blocking really helped the fabric, and it looks great now, I think. Overall, I'm very, very happy with this. I'm just quickly gonna recap the modifications that I did. I didn't really do much. I really only added a couple of repeats to add some length. So now I'm at 45 centimeters length, which I think is like 3 or 4 centimeters longer than what the pattern recommends. One thing that's not an intentional modification, but that happened, is that once I got more comfortable with the lace pattern, my tension got significantly tighter. So here you can see my beautiful gauge swatch, which is pretty wide, but then on the actual cardigan, it's much tighter. So now my stitch gauge is actually pretty off. I'm gonna put it here or here. I did the math, but I don't remember. But the finished bust circumference is about 85 centimeters, while the pattern, I believe, is around 95 centimeters, so 10 centimeters difference, which is quite a lot, but I actually really like this fit. It's more like a t-shirt fit rather than a cardigan, and I really like it, so I'm not mad about it. Yeah, so the fit, this is, I don't know if you can see the bottom, but this is it. I can also wear it tucked in if I'm wearing high-waisted pants. But the reason I wanted to make it longer is that I have some like summer pants that are a little bit lower cut. So I wanted this to kind of hit where those jeans hit. So I can wear it combined with that without showing my stomach too much. So I'm really happy with that. I also think that the fit is great. I think this is probably the nicest fit for a cardigan that I've had, which might just be the pattern, or it might be the fact that this is seamed, because so far all the cardigans that I've made were top down and made in one go without seaming. And they always had a lot of fabric here, but this one actually I think fits really great. And honestly, I feel like this doesn't really look handmade. I feel like this could be something that you buy, except for maybe a little bit of messy finishes here that are entirely my own fault. But yeah, I feel like this looks like something you could buy. So I'm really proud of it. It's also, I haven't worn it out yet, but I think it's quite a nice warmth because it is a very thin fabric. Yeah, I really like it. I think it also looks great as an actual cardigan, so open up, but I'm too lazy to open up all the buttons right now, so you're just gonna have to trust me on that one, but if you want, you can check out my Instagram where I'll post a few more pictures. And yeah, I really like it. I think this is a good place to end the video. So if you watched till here, thank you so much for spending time with me. I hope you had fun watching. Make sure to let me know what you're working on in the comments down below. And if you did enjoy this video, I would love for you to hit the like button, maybe subscribe if you want to see more similar videos and see what else I'm working on for the summer. And other than that, I hope you have a great day and I'll see you next time. Bye!